Hello everybody, my name's Craig Bettles. I'm the co-pilot project manager here at Consonus, and I just wanted to show you a little bit about how to use the PDPM estimator we have on the site. So we created this as a tool to kind of replace that Excel spreadsheet that CMS sent out to kind of prepare facilities for PDPM. We just wanted to create something that was a little bit more usable and a little bit easier to put in some data and get some rates. So I'll just show you how to use this. So the first thing here is we have a summary tab, and if you know PDPM pretty well, you can just come in and kind of put in the key items for each of the PDPM categories, and it'll update the rates here. Or you can notice down here at the bottom we have a number of tabs. These are like worksheets that you can use, and it'll update the summary tab. So the first thing to note is this is a very additive tool, so as you enter more data into the worksheets, it'll actually increase the rates, and you'll get an estimated rate based on that. We also have this here, so if you have an estimate for how long you expect the patient to be in the building, you can do that here and it'll give you a total rate. We have two use cases for this. The first is just to kind of prepare you ahead of October 1st so you can get in here, just enter some data based on some common types of patients you see in your building, and you can kind of get some rates and see what that looks like. After October 1st, we thought this would be a useful tool just to kind of prepare for patients before they enter your building. Maybe you're making an admission decision, maybe they're just entering the building but you don't have a lot of data in your EHR yet. This tool lets you kind of put the data that you do have in there to kind of look at what the rates will be. Now let me just kind of go through these different tabs down here and kind of show you how the tool works. So the first thing you want to be able to do is just select an ICD-10 code, and this can be from the documentation from the hospital. So let's say we had a patient with an A009, and we have that in the documentation. We can see that they fall into acute infections, and from there we can make sure that we collect the right clinical category, which is acute infections right there. This is also searchable, so if you just wanted to put in like hip in here and then do a search, you could do that as well. Let me show you how to do that real quick. So let's say I know a patient who has a hip issue, but I don't necessarily have a code. It'll give me a number of different description of ICD-10 codes. I can pick one of those, and this you'll notice has a return to provider. That means I won't be able to actually get paid from that. So I want to make sure I do have a primary diagnosis that I can be reimbursed for. So I changed that to a different diagnosis code here. This falls into the non-surgical orthopedo-musculoskeletal category. So that's what I'm going to pick here. And again, this is really just to estimate what your payment will be. Then if I go to the NTA sections, you see we have a number of drop boxes down here that you can select different items that would be additional points under the NTA category. So let's just say that I have a patient that has COPD and diabetes. I select those. I look down here, I see that that is a total of 4 points. I select 4 points on my score here, and you'll see that ups the NTA daily rate. Then I go to the nursing section. So this nursing section is going to be pretty much the same as the nursing case mix that was under the RUG system. The only difference is the functional score is going to be based on section GG rather than G. So you just want to select the nursing case mix that best fits the patient. And again, you won't have perfect information here, so just select what you think is going to be the best. And also you just want to make sure that you're selecting a functional score that fits that patient. So let's see here, let's say I select a CBC2. You'll see it updates the nursing daily rate there. In the PTOT, you'll see it's already narrowed down my options based on what I selected in the clinical category. So I've just got a number of different case mixes here for PTOT. And again, I just want to select the functional score that best fits the patient. And again, you want to make sure it lines up roughly with nursing, even though the function score for nursing and PTOT is slightly different. But again, what you're trying to do here is just get an estimate. And then under speech language, there's a number of items here that you can do. The first thing you want to do is look to see if they have a speech language pathology comorbidity or cognitive impairment. I'm going to select that this patient has both. And here are a list of all the SLP comorbidities in case you need to look at that, as well as the ICD-10 codes that you would need to have in your documentation and in your MDS assessment in order to be able to properly document that. You also want to check to see if they have a mechanically altered diet or a swallowing disorder. I'm going to list that they have one of the two here, and you see that ups my SLP daily rate. Now that I've filled in all of these little worksheet tabs here, I can go back to the summary, and you can see that it's filled in each of these drop downs here. Actually, let me go back to SLP here. And you'll see I didn't actually select my SLP case mix. I select that. I come back. Now this has been updated here. The only thing I have left is to indicate whether I'm in an urban or a rural location. I'm going to select urban. You see I've got the daily rate for each of my categories, nursing, NT, OT, PT, SLP, and the non-case mix. I can also see what the daily rate is in different parts of the length of stay because of that drop down that you have on day 4 for NTA, and then there's a 2% drop down for PTOT every 6 days after day 20. And if I have an estimate for how long I expect the patient to be in the building, I can select that on skilled days, and then I get an estimate for total payment. So the idea for this tool is, again, just to give you a quicker and easier way than that Excel spreadsheet from CMS to be able to estimate a payment. We're hoping that you can use this to just get a little bit more knowledgeable before PDPM rolls out. And then after PDPM, we hope that this will be a tool that you can use kind of in the admission process to get some rough estimates for what a patient might look like before you have all the documentation from your hospital and before you have the MDS filled out. So once again, thank you for using Copilot. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us at copilot@consonushealth.com.